Okay, imagine this. A hidden world, absolutely teeming with life. Not on some distant planet, but miles beneath our own ocean floor, inside the Earth's crust.
Yeah, it sounds like science fiction, doesn't it? But it's real. We're talking about a recent discovery that's genuinely shaking up our whole understanding of where life can exist.
So for this deep dive, we're looking at this unexpected ecosystem found deep within the oceanic crust. The sources, based on findings from the Schmidt Ocean Institute's work, detail some incredible things.
Absolutely. And our mission today is basically to unpack what they found, what lives down there, and what it means, for how we think about life in extreme places, maybe even biodiversity itself.
Right. And I understand this happened at some serious depth, like really deep.
Oh, yeah. We're talking around 8,200 feet down. They found these cavities under the seafloor hydrothermal vents filled with warm, mineral-rich water and complex life. Big life.
Big life, not just tiny microbes then.
No, that's the kicker. Giant worms, some stretching up to, believe it or not, 10 feet long, just thriving in these hidden pockets.
10 feet. Wow. Okay, that definitely challenges the old textbooks. For our UPSC aspirants listening, this is prime material for environment and biodiversity topics, right?
Exactly. It forces a rethink on the limits of the biosphere, on where complex organisms, not just extremophile bacteria, can actually make a living.
So besides these giant worms, what else did they find? Was it a diverse community?
Surprisingly diverse, yeah. They documented various gastropod snails, basically, and cephalopods, maybe some relatives of squid or octopus and other mollusks. Many were completely unknown from these kinds of depths before.
Wow.
And interestingly, they saw larvae. This suggests that these hidden underground ecosystems might actually be connected to the life we see on the seafloor around the vents.
Through the hydrothermal fluid flow, maybe.
That's the hypothesis, yeah.
Yeah.
These fluids could be like highways carrying larvae between the surface vents and these subterranean cavities. It paints a picture of a much larger interconnected vent ecosystem than we ever imagined.
And you mentioned specific interactions, like species living together.
Right. They observe things like paralvanella worms living on the tubes of the giant riftia worms. And another type, Nereis sandersii, seemed to prefer the roofs of these cavities.
Nope.
Then you had appearances of Brentschnotegluma species and groupings of snails like Neophilus frederae with Lepidodrylus. It suggests a complex food web and community structure down there.
So this isn't just a curiosity. It has pretty big implications for science, doesn't it?
Huge. It suggests that potentially vast areas of the oceanic crust, which we sort of assumed were barren, might actually be habitable for complex life.
Which pushes the known boundaries for life in extreme environments way out.
Precisely. It opens up all sorts of new questions for biology, for geology.
Right.
How do these animals survive? What are they eating? How extensive are these systems?
But with discovery comes responsibility, right? Finding something so unique, so hidden. Surely there are concerns about protecting it.
Definitely. That's a major point now. This incredible biodiversity hotspot exists in areas that are also, unfortunately, of interest for potential deep-sea mining.
Ah, okay. So there's a direct conflict there.
A massive one. How do you protect a fragile, barely understood ecosystem from potentially devastating industrial activity? It's a really pressing environmental challenge. Scientists are racing to understand how these systems even function, let alone how resilient they might be.
And I guess exploring these places is incredibly difficult, too.
Extremely. You're dealing with immense pressure, heat, corrosive fluids, pushing the limits of submersible technology, and the deeper you potentially go, the more extreme it likely gets.
So we don't even know how widespread this underground habitat might be.
Not really. That's one of the big future questions. How far does it extend? How deep? It's a classic case of balancing that drive for scientific discovery with the ethical need to preserve these unique environments before we accidentally destroy them.
Okay, so wrapping this up, the key takeaway is just, wow. This remarkable, complex ecosystem hidden deep within the Earth's crust, full of unexpected life. It really broadens our whole perspective on life's potential.
It really does. And it leaves you with a pretty profound thought, doesn't it? If life can thrive like this, in such an extreme hidden place on our planet, what other kinds of undiscovered ecosystems might be out there, perhaps in equally surprising locations, maybe even beyond Earth?
Absolutely. And for all of you preparing for the UPSC exams, understanding breakthroughs like this in biodiversity, extreme environments, conservation challenges, it's really crucial stuff for both prelims and mains.
Keep these kinds of developments on your radar.
Definitely. If you found this deep dive interesting, please do like, subscribe, and perhaps comment below with any questions you might have for future discussions.
We'd love to hear from you.
And just to note, The information we discussed today draws on findings reported over at sustainability.com.